Yeah.
G'day two-wheel adventurers and welcome back for part 3 of this Fraser Island adventure. If you missed out on part 1 and 2, be sure to check those out so you can catch up on all of the action so far. But we just spent the night at a beautiful camp spot at the northernmost point of Fraser Island, and now it's time for us to begin the journey south. We had a campsite booked about halfway down the island at Cathedrals on Fraser, so that was our end goal for the day. A shorter day than the previous 2, but this would give us the chance to stop along the way and see some of the sights on the island. Now obviously we have the challenge of Nagala Rocks again, but it'll be in reverse this time, so that should be some fun. But even before the day had begun, we found ourselves fighting the tides and looking for a way out of camp. Let's get into today's adventure and see if we can find our way out. Good morning everybody, how good of a morning is this? The sunrise looks absolutely beautiful, just as good as the sunset was yesterday. I'm just come out early just to see the sunrise and obviously see where the water level is at. High tide this morning is at 8 o'clock, I think, from memory. There's still pretty much 2 hours of this tide coming in. I think we're going to get stuck here, unfortunately, for a little while. So due to the tides, the boys and I had a slow morning around camp. We waited for the tide to turn before slowly starting to pack up and get ready to head off. Now there's definitely worse places to be stuck, so it wasn't all that bad really. We even had a few visitors that kept us entertained while we waited. But eventually, the tide looked to be low enough, so we set off and started poking our way along the beachfront.
Well, that was the first mission done. Get down our little non-existent ramp. Right, let's see how far we get. Got to time these waves a little bit. James is up ahead and we've got a dingo in between us as well. So hard to judge. There's the dingo. Doesn't look great, does it?
Maybe another 15 minutes or something?
Yeah, it's so close.
Now obviously salt water and motorbikes don't go together so well, but when riding on the beach, getting sand and salt on your bike is guaranteed. We all knew the bikes would need a good clean once we got back home, but none of us were willing to ride through any deep sections of salt water. We kept on picking our way through to where we could get, then we would have to wait a little bit longer for that tide to recede and then get to that next section. But eventually we could see the end and the beachfront began to open up for us, but to get through this last little section we chose a different option instead of waiting for that tide to recede.
Pretty soft, but might be alright. We're going up and over, mate. Hopefully up and over. Oh, good. Here goes Bryce. Go on, mate. Power on. Yeah. Now the Enduro King's going to show us how it's done.
Yeah.
Fraser Island's #1 enduro rider, this bloke. How did that happen? Oh. I forgot about the power out bit.
Oh, mate.
I think I forgot to put power on and the front wheel just dug in, so.
That was the slowest crash ever.
I was like, what's going on? It looked like you just rolled down it. No, they clip on.
Where do they go onto the shroud?
Yeah, they click around the plastic.
Oh.
I'll get the bike out, then I'll fix it. Thanks, dude.
It was real controlled crash. It was like...
So, don't do that.
I'm a road builder.
Well, if you followed him, he made it look very simple. Literally two opposite showings. One, how to do it. One, how not to do it.
Uncle Pricey coming through.
You did better than me. All that time wasted, tide's probably down, we could just went around.
I wasn't confident, but I'll give it a go.
So with that little mission complete, we finally popped out around the point to Sandy Cape and we could start making our way back down the east coast. We caught up with a few other riders at Sandy Cape here on their own Fraser adventure, which was pretty cool to see. A few of the guys said they were followers of the channel, so shout out to all you guys. I hope your Fraser adventure went well. But next stop for us were the soft sands of Nagala Rocks.
Keep going. Into it. Oh, he's doing your trick. The blip and the throttle. He's got it.
That brings a tear to me eye. Proud father.
Right, now it's my turn.
So after watching Bryce head through, it looked like he got through with no issues this time, which was pretty cool to see. I went next and it was the same game plan as the day before, second gear and just keep that power down until I get to the other side. The sand at Nagala was soft, as it usually is, but we all got through pretty easily this time around. With Nagala Rocks now ticked off for the day, it was time to venture on a little bit further south and enjoy a nice swim at the Champagne Pools.
Loving the shorts, bro.
Give the people what they want.
You ready? That was good.
With the tide now being out, it was an easy run down to Cathedrals on Fraser, where we would set up camp and enjoy the afternoon. There are facilities at Cathedrals, so we were all stoked to have a shower and enjoy a proper meal for dinner, along with a few drinks to celebrate what has been an unreal adventure. So the following day, day 4 of the trip, this was a return journey back to the cars at Tewantin. It was basically a reverse of the morning of day 1. We were heading down the east coast of Fraser to get the barge back across to the mainland, and then we would jump onto Rainbow Beach, head to Double Island Point, and then do the final stretch along Cooloola Beach. So firstly, we stopped in again at the Mahino shipwreck just on our way past, seeing as it is a bit of a rarity to get this place to yourself, so we thought we'd call in and check it all out while no one else was around. And then it was a quick stopover at Happy Valley for some breakfast before sending it to the barge.
So boys, Fraser's done. What do you reckon? Good, mate. What was the best bit? Pretty good. I'll be back again. What do you reckon, mate? Best bit, favourite part? And don't say me crashing.
Probably you going over the bars and standing cage. We did it all. Yeah.
We did. To the top, to the west coast.
So all three of us were a little bit upset to see the end of Fraser Island. It had been a few awesome days over here, checking everything out and having an absolute blast. But the day wasn't fully over for us yet. We still had a little bit of riding to go. So we jumped onto the Manta Ray barge, and man, it was a pretty bumpy journey back to the mainland. It was super windy this morning, but eventually we bumped our way over, got off the barge and headed into Rainbow Beach. We all grabbed a little bit of fuel for the final stretch back down to Tewantin, and we were back into the sand.
It's still so windy. It's like complete opposite to the other day we came up this way. The wind was blowing the headwind from the other way, and now it's swung around the complete opposite. We're into it again. Just won't let up, but at least it gave us a couple of days in the field that were pretty decent. Gets old though, travelling along Rainbow Beach here. These rock face, sand walls, sand hills, whatever you want to call them. They look unreal. What's going on, brother?
All the bolts come out of my exhaust and rack.
Exhaust and rack?
Yeah, it's like one.
Oh shit, I didn't even see that on the ground. I'm blind.
Yeah, so.
Far out.
Yeah.
Not ideal.
No.
Zip ties for the
not
wind.
End of the world either, but.
Hey?
Not the end of the world, but
No.
not ideal.
I was worried at first. I thought, oh, his bike must have died because he said it was running bad.
Nah.
We've all lost bolts, except you.
Hey?
I said we've both lost bolts except you.
I think my bike is all over.
What's a new bike, so everything should be bloody lopsided.
Yeah, you'd be a bit upset if your bike was losing bolts already. The exhaust's back on there. Just zip tied it on there. That's all we can do really. Don't have any other bolts. So James is gonna lip her home. Probably got another 40 odd Ks to get back. So hopefully that holds, or if not, we'll put some more zip ties on and go again until we get back. He'll know if it comes off because his bike will sound so much louder if that pipe falls off again, but fingers crossed it's all good.
So the journey down Kalula Beach was pretty uneventful for all three of us guys, but as you can see here, it was a little bit more eventful for some others on the beach. So as I got to the exit off the beach, I was waiting for the other two boys just to catch up, and I met this absolute legend here on his own DRZ 400E. His name's David and he's from Germany. We had a good chat for a little while and he said he's seen a bunch of my videos and he had seen my Fraser Island videos from the previous year, so he was heading over on his own adventure. So it was awesome to meet you, David. I hope your trip went well, mate. Let me know down in the comments below if you are watching this video. I'd love to know how your trip went. But for me, James and Bryce, our trip was pretty much done, guys. We jumped off the sand here, jumped across that last ferry over into Wanton, and the next thing you know, we're at the cars loading the bikes up.
Hold on, mate. Made it there and back.
On your own.
He had one more fall in him. Oh, my camera's still on, how good.
So Two Wheel Adventurers, that brings us to the end of this absolutely epic Fraser Island adventure. I had an absolute blast on this trip. It had absolutely everything. A massive thanks to the boys, James and Bryce, for making the trip such a good time. I'm sure I'll ride with the boys again at some point. And a massive thanks to all of you that have tuned in for the fun. Please like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff. It really helps the channel out massively and I appreciate all of the support. If any of you are interested in supporting the channel in a more direct way, jump into the description below of this video and head over to the website. You guys can grab some merch there and show your support, and as well on the website there's a link to my Buy Me a Coffee page. This is basically like Patreon, so you guys can make donations directly to the channel, and there's also some GPX files over there from my previous rides, which you guys can grab for a couple of dollars, head out on your own adventures, and all of that money goes straight back into the channel as well. So be sure to ride safe out there on your own two-wheel adventures, guys, and I'll see you all soon.